the Dodgers have found Clayton Kershaw's heir apparent, and I like how this transition from Clayton Kershaw to Walker Buehler will make it so LA Dodger fans really don't skip a beat with that. Like, they're not going to go for a certain amount of time without seeing elite pitching. Walker Buehler is a very young, elite player who could definitely be giving nightmares to opposing players in the NL West. How you guys doing? It is Saturday, July 11th, 2020, here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. And for this issue of the Elite, I'm just going to go into Walker Buehler, the future ace of the LA Dodgers, who are a very good team right now, who look like they're going to be the best team in the National League yet again. And they also have a nice young core in the center of the pitching, and that young core is Walker Buehler, a young pitcher out of Vanderbilt. If you're not aware of him, you'll be aware of him soon. I mean, he's a 25-year-old dealer. He can really throw it. He was drafted 24th overall in the 2015 MLB draft out of Vanderbilt University. And if you're unaware of college baseball, you should probably know that Vanderbilt is a baseball factory. Mostly they send really good pitchers to the MLB, and Walker Buehler is most definitely one of them. I know, a Kentucky kid eventually made his way through the minors, and eventually made his debut for the Dodgers in 2017. And since then, he's been kind of a baller. In the games that he played, his first season, he played one game, and he eventually secured a win. But that's really all he did in the first year. That was his age 22 season. But he did what he needed to do. He allowed, 8 earned runs in 9 innings. But that's how you get started. It's fine. His second year, his official rookie year at age 23, he pitched a 2.62 ERA while starting in 23 of the 24 games he was playing. He finished with an 8-5 record. And in 137 innings, he only allowed 95 hits, and he struck out 151. He had more strikeouts than innings pitched, and he had more innings pitched than hits. He finished third in Rookie of the Year voting to Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna, and that year the Dodgers would go on to finish with a 92-71 record in the National League West, or finishing first in the NL West, where they would go on to beat the Braves in the NLDS. Walker Buehler was probably one of the better pitchers in the playoffs that year, except for giving up the home run, the grand slam to Ronald Acuna. He had an amazing playoffs. They would eventually go on to beat the Brewers in 7 games, and they would lose to the Red Sox in his first year. But that's what Walker Buehler was doing really well in the playoffs. And in that season, he had a 2.62 ERA, and even in the playoffs when he got there, overall, he was doing what he needs to do. He has an overall 2.72 ERA in the playoffs, which should not be overlooked for how young of a player he is. Now going into his age 24 season, this year was the year that he made his first All-Star game. He started and played in 30 games, where he pitched 2 complete games, finished with a 14-4 record. He led all starting pitchers in win-loss percentage, which is impressive. In 182 games, he only allowed 153 hits and struck out 215. He still had less hits than innings pitched, and he still had over 200 strikeouts. And he had an ERA of 3.26, which is still incredibly impressive. He would finish with, like I said, he was named the Dodgers' second pitching all-star, and he finished 9th in the Cy Young voting this year among young pitchers. And I really like where he's at. He's a nice 25-year-old player who's already entering his prime when entering the realm of one of the best pitchers in baseball. It looks as though he might not be the ace in LA for a bit, because they still have Clayton Kershaw, the best pitcher of this generation there. But as soon as he steps down, I imagine that Clayton Kershaw will pass the baton, will pass the torch off to him in a very smooth transition, in a very smooth fashion. I like what they do with Walker Buehler. He throws a lot of heat. He knows what he's doing with his pitches. He pitches with a lot of confidence. And I think when it's all said and done, Walker Buehler's jersey will be retired in Dodger Stadium. And it'll be a matter of time before he's in contention for Cy Young Awards. He's definitely a player that shouldn't be taken lightly. And to me, he's a player sort of like Jack Flaherty, where if the Dodgers make the playoffs for the next few years, you know who's going to pitch game one, and you know it's going to be a good game to watch because this kid always brings the heat. He brings the fire. He has that edge. He'll go out a team's best player. He doesn't even care. I like what Walker Buehler is. I feel as though I have a lot of confidence that he will grow as a player in the MLB. I can't wait to see what he becomes. So thank you once again for listening to all 5.5, 6 minutes of what I have to say about Walker Buehler, because I do respect him as a talent. He's only played 3 seasons. He's only made 1 All-Star game, but I know he has an entire career ahead of him. And if you're a baseball fan, if you love watching the Dodgers, you're gonna watch him this quarantine season. Give a chance. Like, give it just give him a shout out. Like, if you get a chance to watch Walker Buehler and see the kind of pitcher he is, you'll get to see why LA fans are so big on him. He's not going to be Kershaw, but he'll definitely be a guy that LA fans will love. And it doesn't seem as though he's going to leave, so that's what the situation looks like. So I appreciate you guys once again. I wish you all well. And if you get a chance, look out for my boy Walker Buehler wearing 21 for the LA Dodgers.